This could be the most important video I've ever made. Today we're going to talk about 5 ways that music actually makes you healthier. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's get better together. At the end of this video, I'm going to get a little bit vulnerable, but May is Mental Health Month, and there's no better way to make yourself feel better on the inside emotionally than listening to music, and there's scientific evidence to back it all up. Life can be hard, and this hobby that we have, music, hi-fi, can be the one thing, the one respite from an ugly and cruel world. Actually, the world isn't all that ugly or cruel, but it's not always easy. And going on the hunt for the perfect hi-fi system can be fun too. But let's talk about 5 ways that listening to that music benefits your brain and your body. For millennia, humans, like me, have used music to help themselves feel better, to help their kids go to bed, heck, to communicate, to even fight. I remember I was in an anthropology class in college, and the native Alaskans, the Inuits, when different tribes would be mad at each other, they would have song fights. That's right, apparently you could fight with music. I wonder what those lyrics were like. Probably about fish and it being cold out? I don't know. But music literally changes our mood, and you know it, whether you're working out or you get that feeling of euphoria. It's scientifically proven because listening to music increases blood flow to the portions of our brain that control emotions. The limbic system, when we listen to music, lights up. Now, you probably have to be in some type of facility in order to check that, but why don't we take science's word for it? And music can even affect our brains when we don't remember. We don't even recognize the rhythms or the notes. People that have had brain injuries still remember or recognize the emotions that they had with that music in the past, even though they can't even recognize it today. Outstanding. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. And right now, please, just like this video. This is a good video. This can benefit a lot of people. And if you see value in it, share it out to one of your friends who might not even be into hi-fi. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Music helps you remember. When we listen to music at a time of heightened emotion, that memory is somewhat imprinted on our brain a little bit more deeply than other memories. Probably a good thing. That's why, and I've kind of joked about it, when we are adolescents and all the fun stuff that goes along with being an adolescent, we have a tendency to remember that music more easily than music that we've heard later in life. Music can also help retention of information, especially classical music. I know there's been a bunch of studies, but when you're studying, when you're reading, and you have classical music on in the background, it actually helps the brain process that information much more easily. You probably have had this experience. You haven't heard a song for a long time, but it was a song you listened to when you were a teenager. And guess what? You still know all the words to that song. Music, it's a magical memory maker. When we listen to music, dopamine is released, and that can help you with pain. When I used to work out, which was a long time ago, I would put on my music and I would be able to power through that last set of tricep push downs or run on the treadmill for 30 more seconds because I had a good song pumping through my ears, usually something that's metal, heavy, angry. But having music that moves you physically even can help you get through pain. Studies have shown that women going through natural childbirth Studies have shown that women going through natural childbirth actually have, distracted themselves from the pain because of music. I don't know if you've been in the room when your wife has birthed your child, but I have. And guess what? I really wish I'd have brought a boombox. Music can put you closer to the God of your understanding. Whether it's a Christian God or whatever God it is, worship music has been around forever. People like to sing to their God. And I know it's hard to imagine, but I feel closer to God when I'm at a concert down in front and there's chaos around me, people bumping into me. But right then and right there, I am completely into the moment and I'm into the music. And it is a euphoric feeling. I honestly feel closer to God. I honestly feel closer to God when I'm at a metal show than when I'm meditating, which I do sometimes. So music can get you closer to your God. Finally, music brings us closer as humans. Why do you think there's dancing at weddings? Why do you think there's one special song at a wedding? Why do you think there's one special song for the daddy-daughter dance or the mommy-son dance or whatever it is? It's because music binds us together as human beings. It's rhythmic, it's melodic, but there's something that transcends what we think music is cognitively. There's something subconsciously. We all remember slow dancing with that girl in junior high. And if you've ever gotten married or slow danced with your soulmate, you remember that song. You remember your song. We all had our song in high school. My song was Into the Mystic by Van Morrison. That's the song my wife and I danced to, my latest wife, and hopefully my last wife. Music binds people together in a way that we can't really describe. It just is. Finally, I'm going to talk a little bit about my story. Get a little vulnerable here. I personally have suffered from emotional issues. I know. What a surprise. But I suffer from anxiety and depression and have so for the last 20 years plus. And really, it was untreated when I was in high school. And it wasn't just a little bit. It actually affected my job and my life in a not so subtle way. I was actually hospitalized for a few days in the early 2000s because of my depression and anxiety. On one hand, it really helps me out because with the way my anxiety works, it makes me feel a bit obsessive and like I need to do more and more and more and more. So sometimes that's good for making YouTube videos or learning things. It's not always good for how I feel about myself. I know someone is watching this right now who may be lonely, who may be suffering from anxiety, who may be suffering from substance abuse. And that's why I really want to encourage you to reach out to a professional, to go to maybe a 12-step program, and to talk to another human being, maybe even get into counseling or therapy. But depression and anxiety and substance abuse are real things that will wreck and end your life. And the thing about depression and anxiety and substance abuse is you never graduate. It's not like having your appendix removed and you're good. Oftentimes, depression is the disease that tells you you don't have a disease because you don't realize you're depressed until you're not depressed. So if you're depressed for 10 years, then guess what? You don't even know it. I've had bouts where I can't even concentrate on what's going on because I'm so anxious. I had some health scares earlier this year. Some physical health scares, and it turns out the thing I thought was going wrong with my heart was simply panic attacks. But man, it felt real. And speaking of feelings, we all have feelings, and we're all entitled to have feelings. But it doesn't mean that our feelings are actually real. I could think you're mad at me, and you may be not even thinking about me, but because I think that you're mad at me, I may get mad at you. How crazy is that? But that's how my brain works sometimes. Point is that mental health issues are real. Substance abuse issues are real. And one of the tenets of a 12-step program is usually anonymity. I know if some people are close to me, they know that I don't drink. And I'm not here to evangelize 12-step programs, but I know for me, they have saved my life. So please, if you're lonely, if you're suffering from depression, if you're anxious, please go see a professional about it. Talk to somebody else about it. I'm going to link a few things here in the description of the video that may be useful, but remember, you got to take care of yourself. One of the best ways to change your mood is listening to your favorite music. That's why I love this hobby, because literally it can save people's lives. But get some help too, because listening to music and getting help is gonna make you even better. I know this video is a bit of a different vibe, bit of a different topic, but if you like it and you think someone else can benefit from it, please share it out. And also, community. I have built a Patreon community, a Facebook group, Discord server, and we get together on Sundays, and it brings people together. Not just about music, but also about the equipment. And I know this hobby can be a bit of a solitary hobby because we're a little bit different than the normal people out there. So seek out a community that you really enjoy. And if you want to, check out my Patreon. We have over 500 people. We all get together and chit chat. So if you want to support the channel, you can sign up for Patreon. Patreon.com/cheapaudioman. Every Sunday night we have Patreon-only Zooms. We have a Discord. We have a Facebook group. You can also use the links in the description. Most of those links are affiliate links, which means if you click and you buy, you do get a commission, but it doesn't cost you any more, so it's a great way to support the channel. You can also use the thanks button down at the bottom of the video. Buy me a cup of coffee, but don't feel compelled to buy me anything. You can also sign up for Amazon, Tidal, or Roon. Links in the description. Click, sign up. They have a trial period. Even if you quit, I still get a couple of dollars. So don't binge watch anything on Netflix or Hulu. Binge listen. Get yourself in a better mood. Remember all those awesome feelings from when you were a teenager and fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.